Well, good morning, Miramar, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tamara G. As always, check us out on all of our social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City of Miramar. And with me today, someone who is not a stranger to Miramar. She's actually done many events in Miramar. She's a friend of our city and also my personal friend. I'm on her board of directors along with Stephen G., who we'll be talking to in just a minute as well. But Velma Lawrence, the executive director, the founder and executive director of the Embrace Girls Foundation, along with board member Stephen G as well from Stephen G Interiors or Interiors by Stephen G. And we are here today to talk about the big event that happens every year, the big fundraiser for the Embrace Girls Foundation, but also Give Miami Day. So welcome to the show, both Velma and Stephen.
Thank you, Tamara. Glad to be here.
So
Takes two of us.
exactly. So happy to see you guys and to talk to you. Velma, tell us a little bit about the Embrace Girls Foundation. Now, obviously, Stephen and I know about it because we're on the board, but for those who may not know, this was a passion project that started for you 25 years ago. Can you believe you did this 25 years
25
ago?
years, Tamara. No, I actually, sometimes I have to pinch myself. I can't believe we've been going at it for 25 years. But the Embrace Girls Foundation is a Florida-based nonprofit. We are a charity that is basically housed out of South Florida, out of the South Florida area. And our mission is to provide after-school programming and enrichment programming for young girls. We target elementary school girls and then move on into the middle school ages. But our true mission and goal is to provide academic tutorial services, social and life skill enrichment for young girls. And our other goal with that is to catch them at second and third grade, because in those grade levels, if they can't read, write, spell, and count, we have some issues with them progressing on to later elementary and middle school grades.
Right. And so why was this so important to you, Velma? Because, obviously, you're a journalist by trade, communications major. You were working for the Herald at the time when we met. And so, you could have just been doing your life and instead of starting a foundation.
Well, I grew up in the inner city. I grew up in Liberty City, Miami area, and when I grew up, I had a good family. We were a middle class family, although we lived in the projects. I had a mom, I had a dad, I had a really great family life. And then when I went away to college, I started realizing that I didn't have a mentor. And back then, we didn't really call it a mentor. I knew I wanted to always do journalism, but in looking back, I never had anyone that directed me. So I went on to college and worked at a major network, but there was no mentor there. I sort of did it the hard way. And so, when I came back to Miami, I had all of these journalist friends like yourself. And I thought, let's do something. You remember, I said, let's go to an elementary school and just talk to young girls. Because as I was growing up, the only mentor or, role model that I can remember when I was growing up was many, 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 many years ago now, but it was Clifford the Big Red Dog. And
Wow.
that's, really, I think about what we're doing now with these girls and all of the celebrities and dignitaries and, very important people and people with, major degrees that they meet every month or so. We didn't have that growing up. So I just always think back that, and I think back and reflect and wonder if I had that in my life, where would I be? Would I be better, more, higher, whatever? But I just wanted to do something that could navigate them through life easier.
And Stephen G., you have been involved, what, for the last 6 or 7 years now with the Embrace Girls Foundation. That was kind of not necessarily a whim, but by accident that you uh, stumbled upon this great organization. Tell us about that.
It was coming near Christmas, and we were basically in COVID. And as a company, we had always done things over the years to what I call help
Mhm.
many different organizations. And I made a phone call to a friend of mine in the media world. And I said, Christmas is coming up. Give me a group, refer me somewhere. I want to help. We're still standing tall after COVID. She said, "You're going to love Embrace Girls." I never heard of Embrace Girls.
Mhm.
I picked up the phone. I got Velma Lawrence on the phone, and I said, "We don't know each other. Christmas is around the corner. Just tell me what you need, and we will make it happen." And I think she thought there was a crazy person on the other side, on the other end of the phone. And we did that. And the more I learned about Embrace Girls, and the more I learned about Velma Lawrence, I said to my team at Interiors by Stephen G, this is a keeper. I love what Embrace Girls stands for.
It's okay. You know, and Stephen, I think that the reason why this touches you so much is because you can see that Velma is doing the work. It's not just, getting donations or using it to funnel through something else. You have been there with the girls. You have been in their environments. You see the difference that being in this program has made for these young girls.
Tamara,
I know. I listen, and he's crying, folks, because it has truly made a difference in a lot of people's lives. And it goes more than the academics and the mentorship. Velma, I know this for a fact. Velma has housed people. She has gotten lights turned on. She has found ways for parents to get to work. When there have been some domestic issues in the house, they found ways to help those parents as well, and that goes beyond just teaching somebody their ABCs, right, Velma?
Absolutely, Tamara. We have wraparound services. If the child can't do well or isn't doing well in school, there's an issue. So we need to find out what that issue is. So if we have a girl, 3 or 4 days, she hasn't been in school, we're calling mom. Hey, mom, is everything okay? What's going on? If mom's not answering, we're knocking on the door. Hi, hello, what's going on? What do you need? And oftentimes we'll find that, mom issues. And so we try to
Tamara,
identify.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Tamara, how about this?
Okay.
How about taking a school at best from a C to a CD school
Hmm.
in grades and taking the school to an A school?
When they school.
Yeah.
The, these girls are the future of our country. Everybody is not hiding the fact that there's a 30 or 40% tile of children that can't even read in the eighth and ninth grade.
Absolutely.
So this goes so much deeper than just being there. It's caring, and it's showing the care, and it's implementing the care, and it's taking these girls to a level where they can be proud of themselves.
Right.
So that is a world of, you call it good, call it what you want, but it's factual. It's not just raising dollars, which is difficult enough.
It sure is.
Our funding was cut by the government, if you'd want to call it that. Embrace Girls is working hard to stay afloat.
Oh, I think we lost Stephen, and he'll probably come back because I know he was
And,
traveling.
and part of that is our fundraiser with the Give Miami Foundation.
Hmm.
So the Miami Foundation has an annual fundraiser that they do every year. And it's an opportunity for thousands of charities to come together in one collaborative sense and raise money for their charities. And so we're part of that venture this year, Give Miami. And we're very excited about being a part of it and being able to raise the necessary funds for the organization. As Stephen said, much of our funding was cut, as was most of the charities in the country.
Right.
And so we're all just trying to sustain ourselves and do the work that we need to do to to make sure that we serve our communities. And so, again, we're proud of the academic services that we're providing, and also the wraparound services that we provide. It takes a village. It truly does. And when you talk about the wraparound services, we can't do it without our partners from the state attorney's office, from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, from other police departments. And that's why also we love to give back to them. For example, this Thanksgiving, we'll be feeding over 100 police officers for brunch for Thanksgiving. And then on top of that, Thanksgiving Eve, we'll be serving over 50 families with meals, fully cooked meals for Thanksgiving. So we are givers. We are truly givers with this organization. And I'm proud of what we've put together. And I hope that the community will support not only Give Miami Day, Tamara, but our big concert coming up. Our big concert. Yes.
I know Stephen is ready for that because every year I see him on the dance floor at the
Stephen, you can't sit him down. No, sir. You can't sit him down. So this year we're proud. It's our 25th year anniversary. It's an all-girl, all-power lineup. And so what we're doing this year is we're bringing in Michelle, Sherelle, Karen White, Denise Williams, and Melba Moore.
Wow, very nice.
That is a full. And what I also like, Tamara, is the VIP component of it, because for the VIP dinner, it's a 8-course buffet, beautiful holiday dinner. All the artists come into the venue, and they actually go table to table, sign autographs, take pictures. It's truly a meet and greet with the artists. And Melba Moore is launching her new book there. She'll be bringing her book and signing her new book. This is it. It's going to be a really great show. I'm really proud of what we put together. I thank Stephen G, Interiors by Stephen G, for sponsoring. I think this might be our 8th or 9th show.
Wow.
Sellout. We are sellout bound. We probably will sell out within the next day or two. And I'm really excited about that and proud of that.
And so with this, Stephen, you give back as well, and you invite your friends and family to come out and support as well, right?
We have been blessed that people, clients, friends have also come to the shows. They have gifted to Embrace Girls. They have gifted with open hearts, and they understand that we are not, I'm going to use the word, a major charity, names I can't name. Where very rich people continually write checks. We work hard, we struggle, but we make strides. And what I started to say a little earlier is, yes, we got government funding cut to a big extent. So this Give Miami, we employ you. $5, $10. We're not asking for tens of thousands. We're just asking everybody to just give a little, because it adds up and we need it for the work that Velma and Embrace Girls continues to do for the community. It's amazing.
And I'm so glad you said that too, Stephen. For the folks who are just tuning in, thank you so much for watching Good Morning Miramar. I'm your host, Tamara G. We have with us today the founder and executive director of the Embrace Girls Foundation, Velma R. Lawrence. We also have Stephen G. from Interiors by Stephen G., who is a board member of the Embrace Girls Foundation, as well as I am as well. I've been for 25 years. Stephen has been for the last 6 or 7, and we see the great work that is being done. But I'm so glad you brought up, Stephen, that you don't have to give $100. You don't have to give $1,000. If you give 10, 20, it all adds up and it all goes back into the program.
Yes, it does. And again, it goes to an amazing cause that I will tell you I have been a part of firsthand. And it just grabs your heart.
I know the girl, you guys wouldn't believe it. When the girls see him, they just start running and hugging. And he is like, wow, all these little ones are, right here. And like you said, it's the love, it's the attention. It is what some of them are craving from home. And at
And Tamara,
school.
let me elaborate on that because
Okay.
that's a very good point. We went over to a high school. We were commissioned to go over to a high school to talk to ninth and 10th graders because they were having some issues, fighting and other, issues. And so we went over to this high school last week and met with a group of girls. And part of that conversation, it was an intervention, and part of that conversation dealt with the fact that they were very lonely. They were not engaged with school. They had no safe space. A question was asked: how many of you have a safe space or safe person that you can go to with a problem? There were about 387 girls in the room. I want to say only 13 raised their hands.
Wow.
So we need to really pay attention. Parents, if you're watching and listening, we must pay attention to our young people. They're having a hard time, and they need to stay off those phones, and they need to stay off the computers, and they need to stay off social media and find activities and programs and things for them to do so that they can stay occupied productively. We have a really serious problem with our girls.
Right. But I think it also goes back, Stephen mentioned this earlier about, taking a school from a DF school and making it an A school is because of the time that
Mhm.
you and the rest of the Embrace, workers are putting into these girls, and also the resources that come from having sponsors like Stephen who believe
Absolutely.
in what you're doing. So
Absolutely.
let's talk a little bit about that because Velma, I know that there are a lot of charities out there. A lot of people are saying they're doing great work in the community, but what is it when you can show people the data?
And you know what? That's what I love too. Oftentimes I'll say, hold your money for a minute. Come over and meet us.
Hmm.
Come and see what we do. Come and look at their gorgeous classroom that Martin Amato and Stephen G built for them. It's absolutely spectacular. And so when you see the space that they're learning in, when you meet all of our certified teachers, when you meet the parents, because our parents are engaged, all of the services that we provide for our girls is free. They pay for nothing. We, in fact, I am not, but Steven sponsored the girls to go to Disney World for Christmas. We
Wow.
didn't want to give them toys again. We didn't want to do the traditional, party. I wanted them to have an experience. And only two of the girls that are going have been to Disney. The other 57 girls have not ever been to Disney World. So that's a big thing in itself. And another thing that we do that I love is that we are very data driven. So I can tell you the girls' attendance, I can tell you their test scores, I can tell you their grade scores, I can tell you when there's an issue real time going on in the classroom because a teacher will call me and say, Miss Lawrence, Jessica is having a bad day. And we get on the phone with them and deal with that right there on the spot. So that's that engagement and the accountability where they understand if they even want to go on a field trip, it doesn't matter that their parent is saying yes. You know who else we talk to? Their teacher.
Oh, wow.
We want to know, is she doing what she's supposed to do in class? We're not asking for everybody to be an A or a B or a C student. Some people, you have to meet them where they are, and we will bring them along as we do. But you know how to get to school and behave yourself. You know how to be respectful because you're learning that in Embrace. Even if you're not learning that at home, you're learning that through our enrichment programming. And so we expect that of you, and they know that. And they correct themselves immediately. We have not had any suspensions. We don't have issues per se with our girls because they understand what's expected of them. And so do the parents. When
And
we have our parent meetings,
mhm,
100% of the parents show up
wow,
because they understand
the
that you're
importance,
not paying a dime. Your
right?
only role is to come in and be a parent and
Well,
understand what's needed to move
I have
forward
to
with your
say
child.
thank you to Stephen G for, sponsoring this trip that is coming up to Disney. And I'm sure you've heard these stories before, Stephen, but did you hear what Velma said? They're going to take what, 60 girl, 59,
Yeah,
60,
57.
57, and only two had ever been to Disney before.
I'm aware, Tamara. I speak to Velma daily,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes more than daily. And I
I
try to
don't
help.
know my business.
I, I, I remember Sunday calling her one morning
Mm-hmm.
just to say hello. And I said, "You sound like you're in the car." She said, "I'm on my way to Homestead because one of our little girls needs a pair of shoes."
Wow. Wow. So we sometimes we just don't know, folks. If you're watching this, we think America is the land of plenty and everybody has so
They
much.
don't.
They don't have, they don't have the experiences. You are going to create lifetime experiences, and you have, Velma, with the
Thank you.
Embrace Girls Foundation, and Stephen, you for sponsoring it. Y'all are creating memories and lifetime commitments to wanting them to do better and be better, because when you do better and be better, you get better.
You know what else happened at that forum that we did? One of the girls, she complained about she doesn't come to school. She had very poor attendance. And so we talked about you must come to school. And she started to explain when we had them in little circles, that she doesn't come to school because when she's on her menstrual cycle, she doesn't have, supplies
Hmm.
for herself. So she stays home. And that just blew my mind. And so one of the other speakers asked, well, don't they have that in school for you? And technically, high schools are mandated by the state of Florida to provide free menstrual products for students. I don't know what that issue was, but she was saying that she wasn't coming because of that. Well, it could just be an excuse, but that I've heard that before. And so that's why we do sponsor menstrual products for schools. I mean, everything that they need, from the pads to the underwear to the wipes, everything that they need, so that student, if she has an accident in school or she doesn't even have it at all, she's prepared. So those little things like that are part of the services that we provide.
I know you told me last year there was a young girl who was upset, and it was because of her hair. And so
Yeah,
you brought in a hairdresser
we
to
do have a
actually.
hairstylist that keep their hair groomed.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's just the things that people don't think about, or think that that's an issue, but it could be, and self-esteem is so low nowadays because of social media. So we need to raise our girls up, our boys up, all of our kids up. And thank you
absolutely.
for what you're doing. Thank you, Stephen, for what you're doing. We've got Give Miami Day coming up, and that is going to be Thursday this week. So
Yeah,
of course, you can give at any time, but it's all the information is right here, givemiamiday.org / the organization, and then it is the Embrace Dash Foundation, and you can always give or go to the website. And that is definitely a place that you can also give, but we certainly appreciate that. And we've got the concert coming up as well. And that is going to be happening on December 14th. So people definitely need to get those tickets, because you can see Denise Williams, Michelle A., Sherelle, Karen White, and Melba Moore. Of course, this is all brought to you again by Interiors by Stephen G. So thank you, Stephen. I see CMG is on there, the casino at Dania Beach. It is going to be a wonderful show, and you better get those tickets, because it does. It sells out every year, and the 25th anniversary is not going to be any different. So
and
thank
Tara, you know what? What I love also is that all the proceeds go to the Embrace Girls Foundation. So
Okay.
100% of the proceeds go directly to the Embrace Girls Foundation. Um, Here again, Mr. G had sponsored this for our 5th year, looking at our 8th. I think this is our 9th show, and it's tax deductible. So when you buy your tickets, you write them off at the new year. So that's a great opportunity as well.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Velma Lawrence, the Executive Director of the Embrace Girls Foundation, of which I sit on the board, along with Stephen G. from Interiors by Stephen G., also a longtime board member now. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the Embrace Girls Foundation. And I will see you all definitely at the concert and even before then, I'm sure. So
Thank
happy
you.
holidays. Thank you. And give Miami, give to the Embrace Girls Foundation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Tamara. Good
Thank
morning, Mary.
and thank you so much for watching Good Morning Miramar. Until next time, I'm Tamara G. See you.